Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Jeff, aka GCurse here. I hope you're all having a great day, a great good weekend, whenever it is that you're watching it. I hope it is going good. I have for you another React video, but before we get to that, a couple channel updates. So, I released a few DSP React videos over this last week. If you would like to see them, I'm going to try and put them in the like the little corner, for you to see. I'll also put the links to the videos in the description below if you would like to see them that way. Basically, these are various little tidbits that Phil shared with us during this last week. And yeah, so if you'd like to see, Phil doing Phil like things, feel free to click on those links. Up next, we have the current ongoing poll of my Unsolved Mysteries commentary Thanksgiving special. This is an installment based series that I do, and basically, if you're a fan of Unsolved Mysteries, you may want to vote on this. Basically, there are a total of 8 votes, if I remember correctly, right now, and right now it looks like the two pieces of shit that tried to kill a bunch of innocent little children, that case is actually winning the vote, which is the Cokeville school explosion. So if you would like to actually, vote, you can go to the my channel page under post. I think that's what it's called, and you will see that the poll right there. Feel free to vote for whatever you want. With that all said and done, it is now time for the main event of this video. I will do React videos. A lot of the time it's DSP gaming, which I give you my thoughts. But to just constantly cover him, it gets a little bit depressing because, to be honest, that guy is pretty depressing. There's nothing ever really good that goes on with that guy. So basically, you gotta find something that makes you feel good. And I came across a guy recently. His name is Review Bra, but I go by the name The Report of the Week. That's right, The Report of the Week, Review Bra, whatever you like to call him. This guy seems to put a smile a little bit on my face. There is a very stark honesty about this guy. You can tell that he does what he does because he loves what he does. And it isn't as if he is hog tying and paywalling his content to the masses. If he wants to, from what I've been able to see, if he wants to review food, he just reviews it. It isn't like other people, DSP Gaming, that will literally make you pay him $1,500 to watch him eat a $10 meal. Anyway, today, ladies and gentlemen, the report of the week, he got his hands on some KFC Honey BBQ sauce. Now, this sauce is kind of drizzled on some chicken tenders, as a lot of people call them. I call them chicken strips. I don't know what the difference is, but anyway. Our boy, the report of the week, is about to give you his honest thoughts of the KFC reissue, I guess you could say, the reissue of the honey barbecue sauce. Okay, this is gonna be awesome. I love watching this guy do his videos, so I can't wait to see what he says. So let's get on with it, shall we? 3, 2, 1.
Hello everyone, this is Running on Empty Food Review. Well, hello ladies, gentlemen, and everyone watching. Welcome one and all to this newest edition of the Running on Empty Food Review series. I'm your host, the Report of the Week. Thank you for checking in. So this review that is a bit of a nostalgic throwback, you can say. This isn't the first time I've reviewed an item similar to this. There's actually been a few instances this year where major chains, I guess they kind of finally, after what's taken, it seems, over a decade, finally realized, hey, maybe the general public is onto something when everyone insists that insert chain and name here was better back in the 90s, 80s, even the early 2000s. So maybe we can try to bring back some stuff from the glory days. And
Okay, call me cynical, and I know a lot of people do, and that's okay. Hey, it's the internet, you know. I definitely know I am not above criticism. So, but anyway, call me critical or cynical if you want. When these companies bring back something, you know, that something from our youth, for example, or even something from 10, 20 years ago when it was really popular back then, I can't help but think that they're not doing it because of the fact that that they're trying to make their customers happy. No, I think that they do it because their pocketbooks are taking a hit, and they figure, well, a quick time boost for we can quickly boost our pocketbooks if we can give the idiots out there let's give them something that they want. What do these idiots like? Well, they really liked 20 years ago. They really liked the honey barbecue sauce. Okay, we will bring that back once our profits are 40% above that little line on the graph. Stop doing it. Stop doing it. Yeah. I know I sound cynical, but that's how I feel. Yeah. If they really wanted their customers, if they really wanted their customers to be happy, they would have just kept this the whole time. They really would have just kept it the whole time because apparently it must have been a big time seller back then.
hope that people will give us more money, right?
He just said it. I just said it.
KFC. This got people talking. Now, I've seen generally, because sometimes you get these sorts of throwback items, right? You have these chains, and it almost becomes sad and pathetic in a way, where they're trying to recreate the success of the past.
It's just a quick cash grab. That's basically what it is.
And it's just not working. It's just obviously not the same item or the same formula or the same ingredients, and so on and so forth. And it's like, okay, you're trying and you're failing.
When I say it's a quick cash grab, the best example I can give is when, like, say Pepsi, for example, they are constantly just they're kind of losing a lot of money. I mean, reports are that they're being overtaken. I think that they were overtaken by like a third tier soda company, if I remember correctly, recently. What did they do a few years ago? They were having trouble. Hey, people love Crystal Pepsi. They wheeled out Crystal Pepsi. It was a seller. As soon as they started getting that boost of money, Crystal Pepsi went away. It isn't like it was not being, it's like it wasn't being a seller. It was a seller. It's just that they want that money. And for some reason, they want people to have what they want them to have. Not what the consumer really wants. It's no, you're going to take what we want you to have. And, they don't want you to have Crystal Pepsi. So we will wheel it out just enough to get the customers to come back. And then they think that we're stupid enough to stay when they take it away.
But this, on the other hand, from what I've seen anyway, people seem to enjoy it. Now, granted, there's not a lot to this, so maybe it's not the hardest thing in the world to mess up either way. I do know, as far as KFC is concerned, that the releases in the last year have been all over the place. Some of them have been unbelievably bad, and some of them have been they've actually been quite good.
Now, for me, I haven't actually had KFC. Oh my God, it's been over 15 years. And the reason is quite simple. To me, I view KFC as one of those companies. It's kind of like McDonald's. It's hard to really explain, but when you're younger, stuff just tastes really good when you're younger. But as you get older, you start to realize, hell, this place over here makes better hamburgers, or I can make a better hamburger at home. And they just start kind of drifting away from that company. KFC is kind of like that. For me, like I said, I loved KFC when I was younger, but when I realized that the fried chicken that the deli at the nearby store makes tastes almost just as good as KFC, and you can also buy mashed potatoes and gravy and all that other stuff. Why spend in excess of like $50 when you could just go to the grocery store, buy a couple chicken legs, some a couple rolls, and some mashed potatoes and gravy for $15 at. So I think it's just one of those things with some of these restaurants that basically, as you get older, you realize that there are better alternatives out there.
We'll see. For a limited time, at least, KFC is.
There it is. That's the thing. It's limited time. Limited time. Do we have enough of the customers back? Yeah, we got a lot more of the customers coming back. Okay, get rid of the shit. Get rid of the shit.
Bringing back their honey barbecue sauce. So this is a sauce review. And as I mentioned, in the late 90s, it was discontinued in the 2000s, KFC had this honey barbecue sauce, described as sweet and smoky, and everyone really liked it at the time. Well, then they got rid of it, but now it is back. You can get it on fried chicken, you can get it on a chicken sandwich, you can get it on wings, or you can get it on chicken tenders. I decided to get it on some chicken tenders this time around. I guess I'm on a chicken tender kick, I suppose you can say. So I got a 3-piece meal deal for the price of $11.
$11 for three chicken strips with some sauce. You could literally go to the grocery store across the street where I live. You can buy 3 chickens or chicken strips or whatever the fuck you want to call them for like $6. I mean, it's like $1.98 each or something like that. But because it's KFC, you're also paying into the name. It isn't like you're actually buying the product anymore. No, you're buying the name itself.
You get 3 chicken tenders with the new honey barbecue sauce on them. You also get a side. I got their fries, a biscuit, and a drink, which they forgot.
That's right. You heard him correctly. He ordered this meal. This poor guy, he ordered their meal. $11, by the way. And they forgot the drink. To me, I would, I'm pretty sure that he did. At least I hope that he would. I hope that he contacted them or demanded some sort of refund. Because the fact is, you're not getting everything. You're not getting everything. They stole your money. You're not getting everything. The deal was, I pay you $11. I get 3 chicken strips, some fries, and a drink. And to me, to me, it feels like the poor guy got ripped off. This isn't the first time either, ladies and gentlemen. This isn't the first time. This guy I think he had his drinks, not delivered from another restaurant. And then if I remember correctly, I think it was during the Wendy's Wednesday special promotion. The big thing was you get like 3 sauces or something like that. And they failed to give the guy his sauces. So this is like something that is actually starting to become prevalent in the fast food industry. And thank God I don't fucking eat fast food anymore.
So there's that. I really wasn't, I have my glass of water anyway, but you can't not select the drink, so I chose Dr. Pepper.
And see, this is why I think this guy is really nice. And sometimes I think that can be sometimes a downfall. It's like it's like he acts. I don't want to say he acts. It's like he kind of doesn't mind, but he should. They took your money, dude. They took your money, and you didn't get everything. They didn't get everything. You should be fucking pissed. You should be like, hey, I gave you $11. I want my fucking drink. That's there are times that there are just really nice people that get taken advantage of sometimes.
And anyway, I forgot it. They included the straw, though.
But they forgot your drink, dude. You should be mad. I'm not.
But no drink. So there's that. Every one of these places forgets something these days, so it's annoying.
It shouldn't be like that though. When you pay your money, you should get what you buy, you know? If you bought a car, and the car came with AM FM radio. I know who listens to AM FM radio anymore, but it came with AM FM radio. You bought the car, and whoops, they forgot to install the radio. Wouldn't you be upset? You paid $40,000 for this car and it doesn't have the radio, you know?
Very regrettably, but that's all there is to it. Anyway, here's the box that it comes in. This is going to be a straightforward review. Essentially, I just want to see if the sauce is any good or not, and that'll pretty much be that.
I like this shot right here. I know my fat head is in the way. Hold on, let me do this. There you go. I like this shot. I like how the camera is able to focus on the package while Review Bra, the report of the week, is in the background. He's kind of blurry. I kind of like that. I kind of like that a lot. There are times you will see people try to show you something on camera and the focusing isn't right. I'm not sure what it is, what kind of camera he has, but it always seems to do a good job when it comes to these kind of shots. Good going, dude. Good going.
Here's the kernel. A little more aligned than usual. Sometimes the two flaps don't really come together and it looks like some misshapen monster, but looks more or less like the kernel. Kentucky Fried Chicken. It's finger licking good.
I don't know if it's still finger looking good. Like I said, it's been over a decade since I actually had anything from them.
The box proclaims. All right, let's open this up.
Oh my God! Look at that! Look at that! With the if they didn't have that container in there that has the French fries, that box would not even need to be that size. Look at how little this poor guy got for $11. That box, you could fit almost. I would say you could at least fit 3 more chicken strips, chicken tenders, whatever the fuck, if you took out that that one container there.
Here they are. All the nostalgia's kicking in.
Boy, doesn't that look fucking appetizing? Doesn't that just don't? Are you salivating when you see this shit?
Not really. But I said that to try to make this a little more interesting.
At least he's cynical like I am. I think he's cynical. I'm sorry, I cannot even recall if KFC was selling French fries when I last went there. When I went there, they still had like potato salad, macaroni salad, coleslaw, let's see, macaroni and cheese. They had biscuits. They had gravy. They had the potato wedges. I don't recall them ever having French fries. They also had, I think they actually phased them out in the earlier 2000s, but they also had these things, the chocolate parfait buckets. Those things are responsible to adding to my weight, ladies and gentlemen.
This is probably a collector's item. It's a stained.
Oh God!
Fry.
Oh God! Doesn't that look appetizing? Imagine you're driving in your vehicle. You're driving in your multi-$1,000 vehicle. You're going to work. You stopped at the drive-thru of KFC to get a hot lunch. You have to be back to work within 30 minutes. You get your meal. You open up the package. You're driving. You're keeping your eyes on the road like the good driver you are. You reach in and you feel the container that has the French fries. You pull it out, and your hand is covered with that. Oh God! Why could they not have just left the container with the French fries out of the main container, left it in the bag or something? Like, what the fuck is this shit?
Box. It's blessed with nostalgia.
Oh God! The French fries like Fuck it, I'm getting the hell. Ooh, it came with a rose. It came. I was about to say a rose. It came with a. It came with a roll or a biscuit. A biscuit. Sorry, I didn't even notice the biscuit. It must have been underneath the French fries. he just. He just dropped the French fries. He's like, oh, right. I'm not sure what it was, but I find that to be incredibly funny. Like I said, there is just something about this guy that can make me smile and laugh. I'm not sure what it is. I think it's just after you constantly do react videos of really toxic people. It's like when you find something that you really like, it's like a nice turnaround, I guess you could say. Whoa. Okay, let's try one of these. Okay,
I think there's a non-messy way to eat these, so.
Yeah, now to top it off, he dropped the French fries in the container. Now he's gonna have to pick up a French fry. He could have that fucking sauce on them also. Ugh.
Yeah, I'm just kind of gonna go in. Well, I guess I could try it with a.
Oh my god, he uses a fork. I thought I was the only one that ate, like French fries and chicken tenders with a fork. I'm not sure what it is. Ever since I was a child, I always ate everything with a fork. Yes, I know I'm fucking weird. I ate everything with a fork. Chicken nuggets, fork. Hamburger, fork. How do you eat a hamburger with a fork? I do, just trust me. Donuts, fork. Jeff, you eat donuts with a fork? Yes, I do. Pizza rolls, fork. Like if you think if it's something you think I could eat with a fork, odds are I have.
Fork, and we'll just see how it turns out.
But it's nice to actually see somebody else use a fork to eat chicken tenders with. At least it makes me feel like I'm not the only one. Yeah.
Take it as it comes, right?
$11, ladies and gentlemen. $11 for something that is shorter than some of my turds. Yes, I know. I just said that.
This is what it looks like. Honey barbecue.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Ugh. No matter what angle he turns this thing at, it's not going to help. It doesn't look that appetizing to me. I'm sorry, it just doesn't.
So, I'm going to assess the chicken quality, of course, but also the sauce. See how good it is. And that'll be that. Because, if the sauce is good on this, then it'll probably be good, on anything. It'd work well on the wings or the chicken sandwich or the fried chicken and so forth. So, just going to pick away at this and see how good it is. So, let's try it out. KFC's honey barbecue sauce on the chicken tentacle.
Chicken tentacle? Okay. Must be a creation that a mad scientist done up.
Going in.
I'm actually waiting with anticipation to see what he says. He takes these small little bites. Look at me. Do I look like I do anything small? Me, I'd be like, I'd take like a half a bite I'd bite that thing in half, man. Oh, Actually, I am very entertained. I'm not sure what it is. Like I said, just simply watching him eat the food. It's actually pretty entertaining. I think it's because he doesn't demand anything from the viewer. Like he doesn't demand $1,500. He just does it. So I think it's because of that. It makes these videos a lot more interesting. It's like you get the feeling that this is just something he loves to do, whereas other people treat it like a job.
It's a sticky sauce, which is why I was trying to avoid, touching it, really.
The way he's eating it, though, it makes me wonder if it's, I gotta hear what he says, but he makes it, the way, when he, like he's kind of biting it, it makes me think that it could be kind of dry and hard. Like he's kind of having to pull it off. It's that dry and hard.
There's an issue, and this is one of those things I feel safe eating, mind you, but an issue nevertheless.
Come on, dude, stop! Don't tease it. I want to hear this. What do you have to say, dude? Come on, tell us.
Visually speaking, I think it looks all right. See, chicken, nothing wrong with it, seemingly. Problem is this. Not so much the chicken quality. The chicken itself as the base isn't, I try to sort through the flavors, because I've had their chicken tenders before. So I already know what the base tastes like, because I've even reviewed them before. I've had them numerous times. So, as a base, I know where things stand, and the chicken itself is all right. I can't really complain. There's no issues with the chicken. It's there's a crisp on the outside, of course, but still tender, juicy on the inside.
Okay, so there you go. So maybe it was just me, but I thought when he was, like the way he would kind of pull the food away after he took his bite, I thought it was like kind of hard and dry, but
Inside, it's a standard chicken tender. I can't really complain though. No issues as far as the chicken goes. Not the best chicken tenders in the world, by any means, but not the worst.
For $11, I'll be honest, for $11, it should be pretty damn good. That's the one. Like I said earlier, that's the problem with some people who are really nice. They're nice, and it's just like there's times that being nice can really become a little bit of a detriment. You should be a little bit critical. This is a review. You need, hey, this food, this food is dry. Or some shit like that. Granted, it wasn't dry, but but that's also him. We're each different.
Unlike that disgusting, that vile, that rancid, pitiful excuse for food from Popeyes a couple reviews back. This is better than that. Happily. The problem is in the sauce. So it's described, of course, as honey barbecue. Honey barbecue, one of the most popular flavors of any sort of sauce, be that, like a dipping sauce or something that, you can go ahead and just have, again, like on this, where it's coated in the sauce. Very popular. We all know what it tastes like for the most part. It's even described sweet and smoky. Okay. There's a barbecue element to this. However, I neither taste sweetness nor smokiness in this. A better name for this sauce.
Now keep in mind, it's totally his choice. He could have also had a soda to drink if they didn't screw him out of the soda.
Would be salty barbecue. Because that right there is what I taste. It reminds me of one of those times, and I'm sure we've all had moments like this, and it's frustrating when this happens, and it could be anything. It could be on chicken, or it could be on some fries, or a burger, or anything. If you want to put some salt on something, whether it's a salt shaker or a salt packet, tear it open, and you misjudge the amount of salt that you wanted to put on said item. And all of a sudden, this huge amount of salt, dumps down on it. And perhaps naively, you think, oh, maybe it's still salvageable, you know, and try to get it off and take a little bite, and it's like, no, this is way too salty. It's so much to the point where salt is the number one prevailing flavor here. And it's like, no, this is, you know, yeah, I guess technically it's edible, but it's way too salty.
So basically, what we have here, ladies and gentlemen, is the QC issue. Whoever the chefs were that decided to, put these ingredients together to make this honey barbecue sauce, they didn't do the fucking job. Do they not have anybody at KFC headquarters that, that just before they're about to ship out this stuff, that they have, like, say, like a chicken strip, and they dip it and they try it? Do they not have somebody there to go, oh, this is salty, this is too salty, take it back to the drawing board, the blackboard, whatever you call it, R&D. Take it back to R&D. Get this shit fixed. Do they not do that?
That's what this kind of tastes like, where I took bite after bite, and I was thinking, this is weird. I was thinking, it is like a barbecue sauce, like a generic barbecue sauce, but...
Well, see, the problem right with that is it shouldn't be generic. This is KFC. KFC is supposed to be like one of the leaders in the fried chicken market. When you hear like one of the big names of something, the last thing you should think of is generic. They should have something that really pops out, that makes it go, oh my god, that is something that only KFC would produce. Generic should not be even a term that should be used with a company.
The main flavor is the sodium, the salt. I'm thinking, okay, this is really salty. The chicken is not necessarily bad. Doesn't smell bad. Doesn't even taste bad from the point that, oh, this is gross or anything like that. But I'm sitting here thinking, this is just so salty. And it doesn't seem like maybe it is, knowing how the fast food is, like a preservative issue or something like that. But trying this out again, this is just, the saltiness is overwhelming. And like I said, I would call this salty barbecue as opposed to honey barbecue here. Because that's what I taste. It's excessively salty. And that's why I'm sipping down all this water.
I cannot help but wonder how good that stuff would have tasted if he had the Dr. Pepper, like, I'm wondering how much the soda could have, impacted the flavor of that food.
And it's just to the point where, not particularly enjoyable. The regular tenders sans sauce would be better than this. And it's kind of a letdown, where it's like, this isn't bad again to the extent of that stuff from Popeyes I tried out the other week where, it's just gross and it made me sick afterward, or anything like this. But, the core question that I ask myself as I'm sitting here looking at this, I'm thinking, okay, does this adhere to the premise that this is supposed to be? Was this worth my time, my money, my energy? And the answer to both of those questions is no. This doesn't strike me as a honey barbecue sauce, so it doesn't even match what they said this is supposed to taste like. I'm not really tasting the sweetness, and I'm not really tasting the smokiness. It's just a mild, generic barbecue sauce with a ton of salt.
I'm really wondering if they put the wrong sauce on this guy's food. I'm really starting to wonder that, because the guy, he doesn't taste sweet from the honey. He doesn't taste smoke from the barbecue, I'm really wondering if they just, they just grabbed whatever the bottle was that had whatever sauce that it, and sent the guy on his way.
And that's it. Then secondly, $11 spent on this. They forgot the drink.
Like I said, you should have, he didn't get everything. They basically stole his money. You should go at least ask for a partial refund,
And I'm thinking, well, was this money well spent? No. Is this something, would I go out of my way again, spend $11 more just to get these chicken tenders again? Answer to that is no. Am I motivated to try the wings now or the sandwich or whatever with this sauce? No. So, while it's not disgusting, it's not something that I don't think I'm going to get sick from or anything like that, I think this failed as a concept. It's not particularly enjoyable. It's not disgusting. It's not rancid. It doesn't reek or anything like that. It's just really, really salty to the point, again, where I'm just guzzling down this water and I'm thinking, what am I doing? What am I doing with this?
And that tells you what the problem is there. If you're enjoying something, let's say you have something that you're eating a food that you really like, are you going to want to get water to quickly wash wash it down, wash the flavor out? No. So that tells you ultimately, at the end of the day, KFC failed with this sauce. When your customer is literally having to get water to get that rancid taste out of his mouth, you done fucked up.
Exactly. So you can get honey barbecue sauce, better honey barbecue sauce from really anywhere. So as a result, I really wouldn't recommend this. They tried to bring something back and they failed. They failed. Plain and simple. That's all that I could really say about it. So that's about it. Out of 10, therefore, the new honey barbecue sauce from KFC, like I said, what I got here today was disappointing and, like I said, an utter failure conceptually. So as a result, a 3 out of 10 rate.
3 out of 10. 3 out of 10, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. If this was like 1980s, 1990s KFC, a 3 out of 10 would have been like unheard of, because back in those times, KFC was like top of the mountain. They were like the GOAT. I know I don't really want to say that, but they were like the GOAT when it came to, fried chicken in the 80s and 90s. Oh my God. To go from that to 3 out of 10, oh boy, maybe I'm glad I haven't gone there in over 10 years.
For the reasons that I mentioned in this review, I wouldn't recommend it. You can get better, more flavorful honey barbecue sauce pretty much from anywhere. Probably just go to a grocery store, get something off the shelves, and use that compared to this. I would not recommend. And that's all that I have for you. Thank you for watching, and until next time, I'm your host, the Report of the Week.
Okay, so that was, the review bra or review bro. I don't know what I've heard him referred to, with a few names, review bra or something like that. I've heard, report of the week. So, but anyway, this was the report of the week with the KFC honey barbecue sauce. Overall, am I really that shocked? And the answer is no, I'm not. There's been a reason I haven't gone to KFC in over a decade. It's just because, like I said at the beginning of the video, KFC is one of those, those restaurants that basically you can find the same type of food that they're producing, if not better, at other restaurants or even at the grocery store deli. So this really doesn't shock me. It's kind of shocking when you hear how a good restaurant, which used produce good food, is reduced to a 3 out of 10. But yeah, so that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That was my reaction of the latest review from the report of the week. My name is Jeff, aka GCurse. Wishing you all a great day. Stay safe, everybody. Peace out.